Okay, and we are live on YouTube. Dax Carlisle here. We've got Michelle Matheny with me. Hey,
Hey
Michelle.
everyone. Hi Dak.
Hey, where's Dan? I don't see him in the chat.
He'll be along shortly.
Hmm.
He'll be along. He's in a lot of pain today.
Oh dear, sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
yep.
Yep. So we're going to talk about master numbers and
Yay.
numerology. It'll be interesting to get your take on it as well. Of course, we're always taking questions in the chat. If you have a specific question, just type it in. If you want a message from the universe, type in message from the universe. Put that pink hand icon. So where you type, there is an icon for emojis. Click on that. And I'm doing it right now. And it's the first one, the pink hand. That way we can find it quicker. We'll still try to find it, but it helps if you put the hand up. Craft Hoarder just
Hi
came in.
Michelle.
It's Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I don't know who's all going to be here. We had to kind of jury rig move around the schedule for the shows because my mom passed away last Friday and, been dealing with all of that. And we still did the show on Wednesday, though, but some of the titles, like this show, what are master numbers, and the other topic we're going to do, I think on the 13th now, is what's your life path? And,
Yeah.
yeah, and so we had them scheduled different times and we had to move it around and everything because of everything going on. So, but we're here, we're back. The show must go on.
Yes.
So we're here. Michelle says, "Good morning. Finally caught alive." Yes, yes. Um, Also, if you want to jump to the top of the queue, what you do is you go to psychic.cafe/coffee. Let me see if I can pop that up. Where is the link? There it is. Right there, psychic.cafe/coffee. You don't need the www. I'm just doing that so you know this is a URL. It's not a .com, .net. We got .cafe, which is so cool.
Yes. I love
Yeah.
it.
How somebody didn't grab psychic.cafe, I don't know, but we got it.
And I love it.
So you can grab us a cup of coffee there if you're enjoying the shows, if you get a good reading, something like that. Or if you want to jump the queue, we take if you tell us in the chat that you bought us a cup of coffee, we'll take your question first, no waiting. We'll spend more time with you. We'll let you ask additional questions. You can also, of course, get a super chat. It's down there right where you put the chat in. There's a dollar sign, looks like a dollar bill thing. Click that, and you can send us a super chat and type your question in. And guess what? We go right to you. Whatever we're doing, we're in the middle of uh the topic on master numbers or whatever we're doing that day. We'll stop what we're doing and go right to your.
Yes.
Yep. Also, members of the guild now celebrating 20 years. Yeah. If you join the guild, you can join us right here on these Zooms with your camera and we can actually talk to you. In the old days, we had Blog Talk Radio and we had 50 phone lines, but they went out of business. So we haven't found a good alternative yet, but we have Zoom, so we can just do that. And you can join us on the Zoom as a member. Now, membership is normally $78 a year, but right now we have a package deal going that includes the membership, certification, and my course, all for $49 starts you out. Yeah. It's $49 now, and each month for 3 months, $49, and then you're paid up. Um, what we're doing on that with the membership is you're getting 1 year free, but the first 10 of you that sign up for that package deal, you're going to get lifetime membership. So no $78 each year, even though it's the cost of a latte at Starbucks a month. I thought I'd throw that in as a special deal. We
Yeah.
we only bring the lifetime membership back, here and there, and it's not always available. It is right now. First 10 people to sign up. So you can become a member. You don't have to be a professional. I think a lot of people think they joining the guild is only for professional readers and professional psychic advisors and so forth. You can just join as, one of our viewers, because you get the perks. You get to come to the live classes, live workshops, um, and join us here on these Zooms and all year long, and we do what, a dozen shows
Oh yeah.
or something, so you have
Hmm.
these opportunities. You pop in and we take your question first, spend more time with you. Mom's ring that she bought me for Christmas.
Oh, I love it.
I just saw that flash on the screen. I had in
Oh, yes.
because I'll forget. But yeah, I was born
Yeah.
the year of the dragon, got the jade there, so I'm wearing mom's ring a lot more now
Yes.
since
I
she's got.
have my mom's ring, but I don't wear it all the time because it's a little big and it says mom on it, but it's an urn and inside is her ashes.
Oh, okay. I gotta tell my dad about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom is getting cremated. We don't actually know if she's been cremated yet or not,
And
Uh
you can get those off of
in the process.
Amazon. The
Oh,
rings and the necklaces, different kinds for men and women. And
oh,
they're
there you go.
urns. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, as I was saying, you can just join and you can join us on these Zooms, chit chat with us.
Hmm.
You can ask questions about numerology and tarot and Lenormand, and you can ask about the guild and going pro if you're planning on doing that, and how to build your business, how to set your business up on Psychic Cafe. Secret tip: if you don't have a website yet and you're like, brand new to this stuff, guess what? You don't need one. Yeah. We give you a mini website on Psychic Cafe, psychic.cafe/your name. I mean, it's really cool and professional. You can even get an email address if you want. Yeah. So, a lot of reasons to join the membership. If you are a professional or going pro, if you need a course, my tarot and numerology course is included. If you want to get certified. Not everybody does. You don't have to be certified, but especially here in the United States, it's, certifications are big and people sometimes look for that. And it just looks really professional to have your shingle up here, your certificate on the wall. Yeah.
Hmm.
We're going to have to get your certificates up behind you.
I know that's my next step. I got to move my cousin and put my certificates right up here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've got the new ones with the new logo. So
Ooh,
remind me to make
yay.
new ones for you.
I
Yeah.
want to hang up
Oh, Dan's
my
here.
I got to hang up my numerology, my life coaching, my mediumship. Ha ha
Hmm.
ha, I passed to that one. And my tarot professional. Ah,
That's a lot of certificates. That's so awesome.
I
Congratulations.
know. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And Pamela just got certified tarot grand master.
She is so awesome.
She
She
needs to
is
put her certificate
amazing.
up too. Yes, yes.
Yes.
So what are master numbers? I think first we got to start with numerology. There's only 9 numbers. We're talking Western numerology from Pythagoras. He was the father of numerology for at least in the West, because there are a lot of other systems, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But we do Western numerology. There's the number 1 through 9. And, just intuitively, you have a feel for those numbers. We use them our entire life. And you realize that when you go beyond 9, 10, 11, 12, 25, 750, whatever, you know, you realize that they they are compounds and extensions of the 9 numbers.
Yes.
And what I like to call them is the 9 energies. Each one has an energy to it, and you can surmise it just looking at the number. I'm sorry, I got something
No, no
itching
worries.
me. What the heck is going on? I forgot to clean my glasses this morning.
Oh,
I was so busy doing everything, and there's like
right.
fuzz on my glasses or something. So you have those 9 energy numbers. um, just by looking at them, you can get a feel for it. Think of the number four. There's four directions on the compass, four walls to make a building.
Yes.
Um, four is so four seasons, all that kind of, there's four everything. We're as humans, that's a big, big thing. And it's structure. That's the meaning of four is structure. And you can just see it inherent in four. Take the number one. Well, one is one of something, or with the energy, it's just one.
Yep.
That it's singular. It's
It's
the individual.
independent.
So then uh you get things with one leadership, and people want to be on stage when they're
Yes.
ones, and they should run the business. They're entrepreneurs and leaders, and you just get a feeling from that. And then when you bring another one, so you have that one person, you have this one person, when you bring them in together and get two, well, that's obvious also, isn't it? In fact, just looking at the shape of the two and the one is very phallic and masculine. Two is a feminine number and has all the curves, right? And so the two energy is cooperation and uh what's the word I'm trying to think of? Business.
Collaboration?
Yeah, but the business partnerships and relationships, love relationships, sure. I mean, look at the two of cups in tarot, for instance.
Yeah.
You see all the number energies in the tarot cards because the system was built on numerology and
Hmm.
the five platonic solids, the five elements. So, just looking at the number nine is the last number, so completion. And we call it the Mother Teresa number, the philanthropist, the more worldly number, concerned with everybody,
Yeah.
and the welfare of everyone. Eight is double that four energy we just talked about. Structure double.
Yes.
And so eight is abundance and talks about the finances and all that kind of thing like that. Five is right in the middle, and that's like the chaos that breaks us out of the structure of four so we can move into the higher numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview because there's only nine numbers. Every number larger than that, let's say, right off the top of my head, 523 popped in my head. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. Wait, we're not done yet.
Nope.
1 plus 0 is 1. So the energy of 523 is 1. Any compound number, 2, 3, 4 digits long, 20 digits long, doesn't matter. You keep adding the digits together and you get smaller and smaller numbers, and when you get down to two numbers, you add them together. If you get two numbers again, add them together. Just keep adding them together till you get a single digit. Master
Yes.
numbers are the exclusion to this. That's why they're master numbers. And they are of the same digit. So 11, 22, 33, numbers like that. So you don't reduce master numbers because unlike the compound numbers, we're not talking about the individual energies and how they combine to come up with that single energy. Instead, we're talking about whatever number it is. So with 11, we're actually talking about one, and it's just
Yeah.
enhanced with the other one. It has certain attributes, and when we find it in certain areas in your numerology chart, like your life path number, your attitude number, your destiny number, which is nowadays sometimes called the expression number, we take a harder look at that because there are opportunities for that individual to do more. And we can talk about that in a little bit. One thing I want to talk about real quick is that there's a lot of confusion around master numbers, even with numerologists. You watch a lot of, I was actually watching one today, a YouTube video, and
Hmm.
and they only talked about 11, 22, and 33. And
Yeah.
they said higher double digit numbers like 44, 5, 5, 7, 7, 9, 9, that they were power numbers, but they weren't master numbers. I totally disagree with this. And, in your numerology practice, or if you add your practice to your card reading or psychic ability, I do numerology charts and reports for my clients before I pull cards. And I do it for everyone. And we went through what is a numerology chart in a recent video. So go look for that on the channel after this. But I disagree.
I do too.
I think that there are not only are there a few more, there is a lot.
In fact, I have a list that goes
Yeah.
from 11 to 99 on the master numbers.
And but I want to say something here. A lot of people get stuck in just the double digits.
They do.
Yeah, there's more than that. In fact, it goes out all the way to 9. It's the 9 numbers and it goes out to 9. In fact, let me show you. I made a little chart this morning.
Ooh,
Check it out. My master
nice.
numbers. Yes.
Yes.
So every number that has the same number in it, and only that number, is a master number, whether it's 22 or 44444444.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't normally come in contact with these numbers, Michelle. I always tell people that, well, it has something to do with, remember that number 4 structure?
Yep.
So the 4 elements make up the physical universe, and only those numbers that up to the digit 4, or that are master numbers, or 4 spaces out, do we ever really experience in the physical realm. Everything else is happening in the quantum field, in the spiritual realm, the divine, if you want to label it that, right?
Right.
So that's all the numbers you see in black there. We don't normally experience those numbers, but they're still master numbers. You don't reduce them. Now, on the far left is the numbers 1 through 9. Those are not master numbers. They are the numbers. But
Yes.
it's so you can see how the other numbers are extrapolated out from that. Okay. And then you'll notice 11, 22, 33, 44, and then 55 and higher are black, because we don't normally, sometimes, like the number 77 sometimes pops up. They call it the Christ number. It's typically more, though, the 777 or the 7777, but it's so rare. That's why 55 through 9
Mm-hmm.
are in black. Now, I don't want to say most, but a lot of numerologists, they only talk about 11, 22, and 33. They skip 44. They say it's not one of the master numbers, but it is. It's the master manifestor number.
Yes.
That 4 energy is manifestation. The process happens in 3, but 4 is the result. And you can tell because it structures buildings with minimum of 4 walls. And it just, when you think about it, it's so obvious. So 11 is the master illuminator number, 22 the master builder, 33 the master healer or master teacher, and 44 the master manifester. And like I said, these numbers will show up when you are reducing somebody's birth date, or the numbers in their full name in their birth certificate. That's where you get the destiny number, or the attitude number, which is your month and day added together.
Mm-hmm.
When these show up, you have a higher calling. 11s are rare. It's rare that you have a master number. 22s are super rare. 33s are really rare, and 44s are rarely seen. 44s
And
are
yeah.
they're the master manifestors. They can snap their fingers and it appears.
Yeah, craft hoarder Michelle.
Right. And I know I knew Michelle was a 44. And, if you're listening to this and thinking to yourself, but I don't manifest like that. What it is you are not working your energy in the fullest potential. If we don't if we have a master number in our chart, especially life path, destiny, or attitude, and we're not in alignment with that energy, it drops down to the reduced digits. So 4 + 4 is 8. So you're working the 8 energy, craft order / Michelle. If you're not manifesting like crazy, that doesn't mean you can't get in alignment with it. A lot of times when I tell people about their numbers from numerology, they go, oh, I'm 180 degrees different from that. Yeah, you're paddling upstream. You're not, how should I put it, Michelle? Your predilections,
You're fighting the tide the wrong way.
yeah, you have, because of the numbers in your chart, you have,
You could be challenging with another number.
that's true too. That's a separate thing. But what I
And
uh-oh, at the
ah,
doggy.
sh-
When you got the number and you're working against it, you you're really supposed to be going in alignment with it. And I can't think of the word that I want to use. That's why I'm having such trouble with.
yeah,
But you guys are getting the gist of what I'm talking about. You're paddling upstream. And that's why
a shit creek without a paddle.
I find a lot of people do this. A lot of people are 180 degrees backwards from some of their numbers, not all of them, but some of them.
What? Um,
So now 11, I'll go through these numbers real quickly. If you have an 11, okay, that is the psychic number. And you're supposed to use those abilities and teach people in small groups or one-on-one. But you're the illuminator. You're supposed to be illuminating everybody else's path. Now, 22 is the
yeah,
master builder. They bring out the big things and create those things. The 33 is the master healer. That's self-explanatory. It's also the master teacher. So that's somebody that teaches large groups of people. I'm a life path 33. So that's why I do healing like Reiki, EFT, NLP, hypnosis, and also why I teach, classes on numerology and tarot courses. That's why I have the websites. That's why I have, I've been running the Tarot Guild for over 20 years. It's teaching to larger numbers. And then, as we said before, 44 is the master manifester. They're the ones, and if you think about it, what's 44, Michelle? Double 22. Double,
yeah,
double
yep,
that master build. So every number higher than 11 has 11 in it. 22 is 11 and 11. 33 is 22 and the 11. And then 44 is 22 twice, or 33 and the 11. It's the highest realization of all of that, but it stops right there. Imagine a line under the number 4 going across under the 44, 444, and 4444 in this chart. See,
yeah,
see, most people just talk about these 3 numbers, but really in our physical experience outside of the spiritual realm, here in the physical realm, there's actually all 4 of those: 11, 22, 33, and 44. But it doesn't stop there.
no,
You see all those numbers that are in orange? Those are triple digit of the same digit.
mm-hmm.
They are master numbers too. We call them angel numbers. You've probably heard this before. You may have, in your own experience, even seen them, right, Michelle? So you see 44,
Yes,
44, 11, 11, 555. Now, I have those all highlighted all the way down because, unlike the other groups of multiple digit master numbers, we do experience all of the angel numbers. And that's because of the angels
yes,
coming into the physical realm and sending us messages. And they're angel numbers for a lot of different reasons, because they're being sent as messages and such. But take a look at this. I added up and reduced those numbers, which we don't reduce master numbers, but I just wanted to point this out. There's a pattern. 111 reduces to 3, 222 to 6, 333 to 9, and so on. It's a repeating pattern of 369, 369, 369. 3, 6, and 9 are the creativity and communication numbers in numerology. So it makes so much sense that those are the angel numbers. But if you look at the names of angels that you may have heard, like Michael, which is actually Michael,
Yep.
and Ralph, and Samuel, which is Samuel L. L is God. So a lot of in Hebrew, a lot of these have, well, all of them have meanings: light of God, healing of God, Raphael, healing of God, or God heals, if you want to flip it the other way. If you do numerology on those names like you would with any other person, they all have 3, 6, 3, 6, or 9. They all reduce to 3, 6, or 9. And I bet no numerologist ever told you that. Yes, yes. We also see the 4-digit numbers 11, 11, 11, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. And the big one that everybody sees, like on their clock, or they'll see it in other places, is that 11, 11.
Yeah.
It's the wake up call number. It's one of the first numbers when you're having an awakening or being sent a lot of messages from spirit. You'll see the 1111 a lot. And then you'll start to get messages like 666, 333. They all have meanings. But yes, these are all master numbers. Now, for us as individuals, we want to look for the 11, 22, 33, and 44, because we may not know that we are supposed to be, like, if you're a 33, you're supposed to be healing people. You're supposed to be teaching people too. You're supposed to be teaching the higher concepts, the law of attraction, tarot, numerology, Reiki, hypnosis, any of the healing arts,
Mm-hmm.
and also doing the healing as well. You're supposed to be a healer using hypnosis and life coaching, Reiki and EFT and NLP with people. Yep.
Right. Meditation and teaching all of that.
Yep. So there you go. That's the master numbers in a nutshell. There, Michelle, there's probably, more we could go into, but hey, take the course.
Yep.
you know, And my course, Tarot by the Numbers, not only teaches you tarot, but teaches you numerology side by side. So we break up the deck by the numbers because that's the way it was designed. And people find, I've been doing this for 20 years, 21 years, since 2004, I've been teaching this way. And our students find that they have an easier time learning and understanding tarot when they understand the 9 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I take all the cards that are 1 cards, including ones that reduce, like 10 reduces
Mm-hmm.
to 1, and all the cards that reduces to 2, 3, 4, all the way to 9. And we go over the energy, 1 or 2 or 3, and then we go over the cards that correspond to that. And then you learn how to read the cards, and then you learn also how to make the numerology charts and how to make numerology reports, which adds value that you're giving to your client. If you are, let's say you're just a card reader, not that just, I didn't mean it that way. You know what I mean? You can just read cards. You can pull out your Lenormand deck, pull out your tarot deck, your oracle deck, your angel oracle, and just read the cards. That's fine.
Well,
I'm not saying you have to use numerology,
I can,
but you can add it as an added value, which makes your readings more valuable.
and I can attest to what you're saying because I was just a tarot reader. Literally, that's all I did. I had oracle cards. I was afraid to use them because I didn't understand them, but I knew the tarot system. And I was good at it, and then I found you, and I took your course, and now I have my own, my own show.
Your own
I do
business.
my own business. I do
You're a
my own
numerologist and tarot
numerology.
reader. And
Like I have grown so much just from taking his course. It's totally worth it.
did you want to say anything else about now that you're a numerologist that about the master numbers? Anything that comes to mind? I especially want to know, the way I described it. Do you tend to agree or
I,
not? I know a lot of numerologists disagree.
they do, but I really do agree. I think that the double numbers are more of it's a double vibrational energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's very important to have them all because they really all do have their own vibrations. And to ignore that is to really dis in to not give your client the full benefit of what they're asking for. And so, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
Oh, by the way, yes, you don't reduce master numbers technically, but you actually do. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of numerologists out there that'll tell you you absolutely never reduce them, but that's not true.
Mm-mm.
If your life path is an 11, you're an 11/2. The numerologists uh, that have it right, that's how they write it down. They'll write life path 2, or like, let's say you're life path 6, or, you know, you didn't have a
Okay.
number. It reduced to a single digit. But if
And
but if you're a master number, a life path, you would write life path equals like 22/4. And so that's something important that I want to talk about real quick here, Michelle.
and I think it is okay, it's not on this one. So, Michelle, this is
Mhm.
not done. Yours will look like more like this other one. And I will be sending it to you. This was a practice round. I'm gonna hide some of your information the best I can. And right here, see how
Yeah,
I
he's
wrote
a 44/8.
44/8.
And that's what I was talking about before. If you're paddling upstream or you're totally unaware and not working that master number energy, you're going to drop down to the reduced number. So you do reduce it because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a 33, but if I'm not working that 33 energy and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, okay, I'm a 6.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. 6 is the nurturer. So the things that I do, like card reading and hypnotherapy and things like that with my clients, fits perfectly with the nurturer energy of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just
So
like with Dan, his destiny number is 88. But when he's not at his potential, he bumps down to a 7, which is still a good number.
that reminds me, you mentioned Dan, and he said in the chat, if I'm correct, Michael, which is Mikael,
Yes.
means is like God. Yeah.
Yeah, he who is like God.
He was like God. That's what Michael means. So all
Hmm.
those Michaels, it's actually Mikael and Raphael, Samuel. Let's see. Sahani's in there now. Hi, Sahani. And
Hi,
Angela.
Sahani.
Hi, Angela. Sahani has a question. What
Oh,
does
hi.
my crush feels about me? Do you want to
All
pull some
right.
cards? And in a little bit here, we'll do the card of the day too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing things out of order because I wanted to go right into the topic.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, what I am seeing here is we have the Six of Cups, which is a really good card. He's feeling emotional, and generous all at the same time for you. The one thing he's definitely thinking about while he is doing other things is you. And I know that off of the flowers that are in the cup in his bubble up here in the clouds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but however, there's something going on because we've got the death card. So he is going through a transition right now. Okay.
Oh,
See, even though that he is going through this transition, he's starting something new. And this is
that's
your
such an
time.
unusual one.
This is a very fun deck.
Yeah, it
This
mixes
is
up all the
your
card
time.
symbols.
They did. Yeah. With the high priestess, this is your time to shine. This is your time to decide, do you want him to have a crush on you? And if you do, then it is your time to just take action and be like, hi. And if you don't, then back off. But if you do, when you do approach him, do it gently. Don't just be like, hey, baby. Be like, hi, I'm here to help. I want to be your friend. Help him over that hump, and then that'll come more naturally.
Mm, awesome. I got something too, but I just saw in the chat where Michelle says, I keep seeing 444 and
Mm,
one everywhere. Well, 11 111 is the angel number that it's in alignment with new beginnings, divine energies, a call to focus. And then the 444 is often interpreted as a sign of divine protection, guidance, and encouragement. So that's what 111 and 444 mean for craft order there. And then with Sahani, I got the same thing as you basically.
I'll
Uh,
wait until you're done with Sahani.
look, nine Knight of Wands.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah. So I think his intentions and passions are going your way.
yeah.
But tarot's always multi-layered, and another gut feeling I got about it is that if there's any distance going on or you're wondering what's going on, it's he's following his passions. And then I also got this, the
Oh my goodness.
the Nine of Swords. Okay, so if you're thinking about this a lot, what you're doing is you're putting up the blocks. You're telling the universe that you want more of this instead of him riding in on the horse. So little insight from the tarot there, Sahani.
I have this deck, the celestial
Angel number.
angel numbers, and I shuffled, okay, and the first card that I just pulled, 444. And it
That's
says,
great.
new levels. Your prayers are answered and being heard, exalted, lifted up, strength, dedication, and work.
Mm, so
So,
awesome.
new levels, just strength, dedication, and hard work. But your prayers are answered. So, there you go.
So we got feedback from Sahani. Damn, yes, I know. That's true. I was thinking a lot too about him. Uh, Also, Moonbeam Magic came in and has a question. Before we do that, let me get the card of the day out of the way.
All right.
And it is the Five of Swords. Remember
Ooh,
last show? It was a five as well.
yeah.
So, still in that energy. It's really apropos for me, because of my situation with, mom just passing. Um, but generally, what is it I always say on these shows? Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Right.
That's the big message I get when this card comes up, because you've got two people in the back. You got this woman picking up swords after a battle. You could win the battle, but you're not going to be happy necessarily. The five the five of swords card in a tarot reading advises you to move forward, to let go of negativity, uh, and avoid unnecessary conflicts or drama, focusing on learning from challenges and seeking resolution instead of dwelling on the past. So, in this world year of 9, where you're supposed to be letting go of things that are no longer serving you, beliefs and habits, and even relationships, letting go of the past, is a big one. Avoiding unnecessary conflicts, focus on resolution when you're in the midst of a situation, learn from the challenges, embrace change, take a step back. Sometimes you have to take a step back from a situation and
Hmm.
reevaluate your goals and actions.
Absolutely.
So there's the advice from the card of the day for everyone that I got for the show today.
Yes.
Okay, Leslie Bell came in too. Hi, Leslie. Welcome
Hi,
back.
Leslie.
Moon Me Magic question. Will my daughter be returned to me this year? Was she abducted? What do you mean returned to you?
No, I know what it is.
This is why I don't like text, because when we used to have the phone lines, we could talk to the person and we'd get the gist right away. But when I'm reading text, you can read it wrong so many ways from Sunday. Things have shifted a lot since I last asked this question.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's Chris oh, she's gonna kick my butt.
it doesn't
Um
it doesn't matter. We don't need to know. I don't need to know the
she's
situation.
one of no, she's one of our regulars.
You
I
know,
just yeah,
you know what's going on, so you pull cards for it because you know what's going on.
I do. I do. It's little Miss L coming home. Okay. So the first card I got is the Five of Cups, which right now this is where you are. Okay. So you have to stop thinking of the negative. Okay. And I know as a mom that is so hard to do, but this is where you're stuck and trapped. And this world is turning, and you've got the Hanged Man, or I'm sorry, you've got the World card. But as the world is turning, you need to look at it through a different angle, because it's how you perceive things, it's how you act on them. Okay, so when fate and life is taking its turn, you have to watch what you say, what you do, how you act. And I know that sucks, and I know you don't like being watched as a mom, but that is what you have to do in order to get yourself upright. Okay, and then that's the World card. But wait, there's more. We got the Wheel of Fortune. I had them mixed up. So things do look good. Look at that.
Yeah.
But because you got the World card, and fate is turning, but you still have to look at it through different angles. Okay. So you have the World card, and that's a good thing. That means that she could very well be coming home this year, and that's what we want. We want her return to mommy, and it's gonna happen. We got that world that it is turning again, though. It's all about you, and I know that sucks. So
Hmm.
everything you say, everything you do has to be in a whole straight, the way they want it, not the way you want it.
Yep.
Okay.
I see cold wind came in, and Hernandez says, it's an emergency, I need help. Yeah, but you haven't told us what your question is. Anyway, so if you have a question, pop it in the chat. Hi, cold wind. We got a question from Leslie. I already pulled cards on this. Very interesting. Hi, Dax and Michelle. Will I receive an offer of employment for an academic advisor position at one of the bigger colleges or universities in Tennessee, Kansas, Georgia, Illinois, or Ohio? And it's just interesting because I was reading the question and pulling out my typical 5 card yes no spread, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
But then I stopped myself because I realized that, oh, I pulled 5 cards and he asked about 5 areas. So I'm going to tell you
Oh,
what I got for that. Before we do that, real quick, hang in there, Leslie, for a second. I did want to mention tomorrow is the last episode of the Angelic View for this season, and they'll be back in the fall. But tune in; it's going to be live tomorrow, and psychic.cafe/live always takes you to the live show for that day. So after this show, I will change the live link to take you to this show on YouTube, which is tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then on Wednesday, April 9th, is another coffee social. Come join us if you're a member or if you're one of my students. This is when you want to join us on the Zoom call so you can ask your questions. Maybe you're one of my students, you have questions about the course, about tarot, numerology, or you just want to hang out with us. You want to share your favorite decks and books. You want to ask questions in general about tarot, numerology, Lenormand, hypnosis, EFT, NLP, Reiki. I mean, you name it, we have it all covered. Or you want to get a mini reading, you can do it live with us right here on the Zoom if you're one of our members. And, don't forget, of course, the sale. Jump in on that sale. And next Saturday is Michelle's Mystic Corner.
woohoo.
Very interesting topic, Michelle. Pairing decks for a new experience. I can't wait to hear what you have to say on
Yes.
that.
That is going to be a fun one. Bring 2 different decks.
Bring 2 different decks, folks. And then Sunday, April 13th, we mentioned earlier in the show, what is your life path number? I put Pamela on there. She was going to originally join us, but she had a pre-existing appointment. So, but she can join us on the 27th, she said, maybe even the 20th, because now that the Angelic View is going on hiatus, Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
instead of 2 Sundays, we have well, after this
Ooh.
month, we'll have 4 Sundays open.
Oh, that's right.
So we can do a lot of cool stuff if you want to join on Sundays. And I'll try to get Pamela on more often with us.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
But
would love that.
but there you go. That's the shows that are coming up. Again, remember, you can always grab us a coffee at psychic.cafe/coffee. Yeah.
Woohoo.
I'm going to type in the link to the spring sale and the coffee in there. There we go.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Hi, Miss Pamela.
Oh, Pamela popped in. Yeah, I've got that somewhere. There it is. Like and
Yay.
subscribe. Yay. Like and subscribe. Here's the spring sale again. Psychic.cafe/spring. I just put the link in the chat. $49 gets you started. You get your membership, which is normally $78 a year. My course, which is $299. Professional certification, the regular price is $138 per level. You get it all included. And you only have to pay $49 now. So it's 3 more payments of $49 after that. There's also an option on this spring page where you can read all about this. Michelle, there's also an option that they can click and pay one payment. They get an additional 10% off. I think it's $177. There's that master number.
Yep.
I think it's $177. You can make one payment, save an additional 10%. You're already saving a ridiculous amount, because
Yeah.
4 payments of 49 is like, I don't know, 196, so you can get it
Yeah, it's
for,
pretty good.
you can get $20 more off, get it like 177 with a single payment, or just pay $49 today and $49 this time next month. And then there'll be 2 more payments. And then you're done. And like I said, the first 10 that sign up for this lifetime membership, folks, lifetime membership. Let's go back to Leslie,
Yes.
who was asking about the colleges. Okay. So this is what I got for Tennessee. Remember, we were talking about 8 being abundance in numerology, the 8 of Wands. I feel like this could happen the fastest. And It's a big fat yes. All the rest of them that I got are not looking too good. Okay. So for Kansas, I got the Five of Swords, which is the card of the day. Look at that.
Yes.
And I swear I shuffled. Um, but yeah, uh, so many swords, so many thoughts and ideas, Leslie. I think this one you might be overthinking, or they might be overthinking the people making the decision. I don't know, but there's something about that. And so, and by the way, the thing I always say, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? If a situation like that comes up with Kansas, any of the colleges there, okay, suck it up and just go with the flow, and don't correct them if they're wrong. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Okay, just remember that. The next one you asked about was Georgia, and I got the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is not typically in my system, core cards are a no. And but this is not quite as bad of a no. It could work out. It's slow moving. This is the slowest moving of the four night cards, right? But it is about money and career, and you might be able to make slow, steady progress with one in Georgia. The next one was Illinois. And okay, there's something shady going on. Seven of Swords. Something shady going on. I wouldn't take it if the Illinois one comes up. Or I'd be sure to look into things and do some research. Dot all your I's, cross all your T's. And then lastly, you asked about Ohio, and I got the Knight of Swords. Okay,
King,
again, court cards are a no.
King of Swords.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I can barely read this.
I know.
Because like the card has its back to me, and I knew it was a sword card, but I couldn't read this. Um, this is again the same as the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, it's a no, but it's not as bad of a no. This is the decision maker. Decisions need to be made. It might be a little bit slower happening if it actually happens. But that's all the information that I got coming through. But the really cool one is, what was that? Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
Eight of Wands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you do get an offer come through from Tennessee, you got to let me know, because that means I hit it out of the park.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, did that Hernandez ever put a question in? No. I love that. Someone comes in, I need your help. It's an emergency. And then Dan said,
Please help me.
Leslie, please help me. And then they don't put anything in. No question. Didn't describe what was going on. Nothing. And yeah, I did want to say hi to Pamela again. Hi, Pamela. Sorry I'm so late. Oh, you're not late. In fact, you could have joined us on the Zoom. Just
Yeah.
the Zoom links are always on the Guild members group. I have them all listed for all the shows that you're allowed to cut. Some shows are custom shows like Michelle's, where actually she is on some of her shows letting members come in. But and then there's the Angelic View that they let their members in, not our members. But all of our Psychic Cafe shows, Psychic Cafe live shows, you can join us on. And they're all listed on a post on psychic.cafe. Here, let me put it in the chat for everybody. Guild members. Psychic.cafe/guild members. Go to that group. Only guild members can get into it. And that's why we post them in there. And there's the links. You'll see the one for today. Just click it and you can join us if you're a member or one of our hosts, And what was I going to say? Oh, and Pam, we were just talking about you, how, you can't make the 13th, but we have a show on Sunday, the 20th and the 27th. So not just the 27th, like I talked to you earlier, but the next, like 3 Sundays. Oh my God. After tomorrow, because tomorrow is the last broadcast of the season for the Angelic View with Maria G. Moss and Ginger. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be in the chat with y'all. I don't think, was there any other questions that came in? I don't think we did.
I didn't see any others.
So last minute, if anybody has a question, just throw it into the chat real quick here. Otherwise, we're going to end the show soon. Yeah. What did I also want to tell people about? Well, first of all, our host links.
Yes.
Here's all our links. So in between shows, you can, first of all, join Psychic Cafe. It's free. Yeah. When I say join Psychic Cafe, it's not the Tarot Guild membership. That's the paid one, which lets you come on these Zooms and join us for all of our live events and workshops and classes and, private, sometimes we do a private interview for members only with a deck creator or an author or something like that. But you can join the website itself for free. You're signing up for a profile. Go on there
Yep.
and register. Just click register when you get on Psychic Cafe, www.psychic.cafe.
Yeah.
It's just sign up. It's like signing up for Facebook, Michelle,
Yeah.
and we have all the same features as Facebook. You don't have to use Facebook, folks. You could use our website and you don't get all the negative stuff and the ads and all that kind of stuff. Once you've signed up and registered, then when you go to our pages, you'll see an envelope icon you can click. In fact, I don't know about the phone, but um, on laptops, like, or computers, if you hover your cursor over it, it'll say message or chat with me or something like that. Click that message icon, that envelope, and you can send us a message. And if we're on, we'll get it right then if we're online. And we can chit chat back and forth with you just like Messenger. And you can book readings with us. Michelle does numerology reports. Charlotte does cards and animal communication. And some of us have links right on our pages where you can sign up. And
Yep.
I should say real quick, if you go to my page, psychic.cafe/Dax, you're going to see $99.99 for my sessions, tarot, numerology, life coaching. That's actually a discounted price from my normal was it 124? No, 149. Yeah. But guess what? If you go to the spring sale page and scroll to the bottom, you can book a session for even half off the sale price. So instead of $99.99, it's $49.99 if you go to psychic.cafe/spring instead of my page. Yeah. And this sale, what I decided, Michelle? I didn't go on all the pages. Like, there's a page for membership, for certification, my course,
Mm-hmm.
and then also my personal page. I usually go on there and I change all the prices to the sale prices. I said, no, I'm not going to do that this time. First of all, it's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
but the main reason I'm doing it is so when you go to those pages, you'll see the real prices, what they normally are. $78 a year for membership, which is only $6.50 a month, the cost of a latte at Starbucks.
Yep.
But it's normally $78 a year, $6.50 a month. You'll see my readings, $99.99. You'll see my course, $299. You'll see certification, $138 per level. That way, how good that sale is. Starting out $49, and my readings are $49.99 right now. Yeah. So go pop in, chat with us in between shows. Ask us any questions you want to ask us about the Guild, Psychic Cafe, in between shows as well. Also, you can ask about this one, becoming a host on the network. Remember how Michelle was talking about all her certifications she got and became a numerologist and a tarot reader, and now she does Learn Them On, and she has her mediumship certificate, and she became a host, dipping her feet in as a co-host on these shows, and now she has her own private custom show, Michelle's Mystic Corner. You can do the same thing. Go over to psychic.cafe/host. You can read all about it. We help you with everything. We do all the technology, set everything up for you, create banners for your shows, for you and if you have a guest on or a co-host. We do all of that, all the behind the scenes things for you, all the promotion, the linking, everything, all the replays and posting the replay banners and everything like that. If you've thought about hosting a podcast, a YouTube show, but you're afraid of the big learning curve, we've been doing this for 15 years. We've done radio, podcasting, and now YouTube. We will teach you so you don't have to go through that whole learning curve. And in fact, if you never want to, you don't have to. You could just come, get on the mic, do your show, and there always will be somebody with you if you need it, or you can go solo, right? And it's $37 a month. That's all it is to become a host on the network. It includes everything I just talked about. And I rarely talk about this, but we don't do a big commitment. We request, a minimum of 6 months, because you to build up an audience and to really see any benefit, it takes 6 months to a year. But it's only $37 a month. You can come on as a host. You're going to get my course, certification. You're going to get membership in the guild, everything as a host. And I know we don't talk about that enough, right?
Yep.
There we go. So we're at the
Okay.
end of the show now.
Um,
Did we get any questions?
yes. Michelle Craft Hoarder had a question. Sorry, I've been following the chat. She says, a series of crises just hit, numbering 3, and I am just looking to know if another is on the way because it feels unfinished. What do my guides have to say about this?
Now it's interesting because numerologically, do you know how things
Things.
happen in threes?
Yep.
So, I mean, my first gut instinct was that it's actually over, but
Yes. And
let's
that's
see what
what's
comes
been
up.
going on in the chat.
Let's see, because things
Okay.
happen in threes. You know, I'm going to tell you, you pull cards, but I want to tell you what I got from Michelle.
Okay. And I
Because
pulled cards, but I want you to go first.
look, the Ace of Swords. I feel like, okay, these things happen, but now it's a new opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You can grab onto, remember, swords are thoughts and ideas. So, Michelle, you can grab onto an idea and run with it. Now, this is something new. Okay. And then if you need some guidance along the way, seek out somebody that's already done this and get some guidance on that. And then the hangman. Okay. So, what the hangman is talking about, typically it indicates a possible delay, slight delay. But the other meaning of it, and the one that I'm focusing in on for you, craft order, is that you need to hang yourself up, not literally, upside down, figuratively, and look at the world differently from everybody else. You need to look 180 degrees upside down. That's what the hanged man is doing. Of course, it's not so evident in this one because in the Llewellyn version, he's actually hanging from his arms. But in every other version, pretty much,
Right.
the figure is hanging upside down. And if you notice, it's not a crucifix, it's not someone being crucified, it's somebody that's hung themselves because it's a T that he's hanging off of. It's called a tau. And it's similar to when Odin hung himself upside down from the Dressel tree to learn, I think, for like 40 days and 40 nights, because in every religion, it's 40 days and 40 nights for some reason. Anyway, everything that happens is 40 days. They go through the wilderness for 40 years. Jesus is out in the wilderness for 40 days. Everything's 40. Okay, so he was trying to learn the meanings of the runes. In every other version, the figure is actually hanging upside down. But if you turn the card and look at their face, they're shining like with an aura and smiling. So it's not they're being hung. It's that they've hung themselves upside down to get a different vantage point. And the feeling, what I feel is coming through with this new opportunity for you, craft hoarder, is that you're supposed to do this new thing where you are helping people. You're solving a problem for them and you're doing it differently than the rest of the people that are helping people with this problem. What did you get, Michelle, on her
Wow.
crisis of three?
So here we go. We've got the Three of Pentacles.
Oh,
And the
that's
first
great.
the
That's
first thing I notice is look at they are celebrating, but the pentacle itself they are celebrating with is broken.
oh,
So you need to celebrate even with your broken pieces.
oh, Michelle. Not only that, those three pieces fit together to make the
Yes.
so it take
Yes.
so it's like it's taking three things or three people to put all the pieces together.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love it.
I love this new deck of yours.
I absolutely love this. And then we got the Seven of Swords. Don't You need to stop overthinking. You've
Mm,
got so many swords to search and think about, but you need to just pick one and go for it. And just to confirm that, we have the Three of Wands. But in this deck, these wands are telling you slow down a little bit and really before you take that action
mm.
take each wand and study it before you act on it and
Right.
really pay attention to the wands that are being given to you versus the
Um,
wands that you are building.
and that's what my hangman card was saying too.
Yeah.
Take the
Yep.
time and look at it from different vantage points, step back from the whole thing as well. Uh,
Right.
and you know, she's talking to Pamela in the chat and said, Pamela, my goodness, I hope so, because it was a lot. Think of it as a trial by fire. And now remember that Ace of Swords I got? Now you can run with this new idea.
Yes.
Yep, yep. Great show today. This was a lot of fun.
Yes,
You
it
know,
was.
yeah. I needed something to distract me, as you know. And
And these shows do it. They really, I'm telling you, you guys got me through so much.
yep. Yes. So Friday was 1 week for my mom's passing, but then was also your son's birthday that passed.
Yes.
And then, by the way, join us tomorrow for the show. Get in the chat with us. Be there or be square. Uh, because it's Michelle's birthday.
Yay!
And I can't get the balloons to go off. Ever notice they go off and then,
And yeah,
but then not when I want them to.
right?
And I don't know what the hand gesture is that makes them go up.
I have no idea.
I think that one's for the thumb, but
Yeah.
there it goes. Ah, I got the thumb.
Ah,
But I don't know how to do the balloons. It's like balloons. Fly.
yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow. And like we said, we've got that coffee social at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, we're doing a different time. If you guys have been absent, that Wednesday show we moved it from Thursday to Wednesday, and we're doing 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
Pacific, so 5 p.m. Eastern. But I may start doing some pop-up shows. I've been threatening this, and I almost did it on Friday,
Mm,
but then things came up.
yeah.
So I was like, oh damn. Okay. So, we had to go to the place for the sign the paperwork for the cremation and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I may just pop in on some of these weekdays and just, do impromptu shows, either by myself
Absolutely.
or drag somebody in or what have you. Yep. So we will be here for the show tomorrow, but Michelle and I, and hopefully Charlotte, we'll all be back actually on here on Wednesday.
Yes.
All righty. So bye everybody.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. All done.